Good evening, everybody. Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is January 10th, 11:30 in the evening here in Yucatan, Mexico. And I want to talk to you about this piece of information that was sent to me through an email. And we have this comet, G3 Atlas, that is going to be at perihelion on January 13th. But as I took a look at this, I found many pieces of information that I want to bring to your attention. Serious information. I mean, so much so that this could be the day that we have been waiting for. We don't know. All we can do is continue to follow the signs. But I got some major information here, so I want to share with you. So it was sent to me, this two pieces of information, that on January 13th, comet G3 Atlas is going to be at perihelion. That's the closest to the sun on this day. Okay. It was also sent to me that there will be a rare lunar occultation of Mars to take place on January 13th. Okay, and this is going to be, depending on your location, in the evening of January 13th going into January 14th, the moon, the full moon, okay, the full moon of January 13th. Let me confirm that January 13th is the full moon. Yes, the full moon of January 2025, the full wolf moon, will reach peak illumination on Monday, January 13th, 2025. Okay, so we have the full moon on January 13th. And when the moon is full, okay, it's going to be, there's going to be a lunar occultation of Mars. That means it's going to be, Mars is going to be eclipsed by the moon. The moon is going to go over Mars, and Mars is going to be hidden for about an hour or so, depending on your location. Anywhere from the evening of January 13th into the morning of January 14th. Some locations it may be like an hour or so that Mars is going to be hidden. Okay, so this is an important event. When they talk about astronomy events, lunar occultations are way up there as far as something to watch for and a heavenly sign. Okay, just a few pieces of information here to go along with this. The comet G3 Atlas will reach perihelion in the constellation of Sagittarius or Capricorn, right in this area. More in Sagittarius than in Capricorn. This is the perihelion event of the G3 Atlas comet. And the lunar occultation of Mars is going to be happening in the constellation of Gemini, the full moon. And this is going into the early morning hours of January 14th, because this is Jerusalem. So if we were to change this to the United States, it'd be 8 hours earlier, and in the constellation of Gemini. So that's just to keep in mind. The full moon is going to be occulting Mars, and comet G3 Atlas is going to be at perihelion in Sagittarius. Okay, now here is information. Now, I have studied this in the past, so as soon as I saw that this was discovered on April 5th, okay, I knew something very important about this day. Beyond the fact that this was 3 days before the April 8th total solar eclipse, I knew that April 5th, 2024 was the 77th birthday of Israel, if you go by exact number of days. Okay, 77 times 360 days is 27,720 days. Okay, and if you go from the rebirth of Israel, May 14th, 1948, to April 5th, 2024, it's 27,720 days. In other words, this comet was discovered on Israel's 77th birthday, if you go by exact number of days. 360 days per year times 77. And I was interested in this when I was looking at the rebirth of Israel compared to the April 8th total solar eclipse. And I'm like, wow, there's only 3 days different. 3 days different from April 5th to April 8th. So it's like this eclipse was right on there as well. But this is like exact. This comet was discovered exactly on April 5th, 2024. Israel's 77th birthday, if you go by number of days, from May 14th, 1948, 27,720 days to April 5th, 2024. Now, from there, when I went from April 5th, 2024 to its perihelion of G3 Atlas, you go to January 13th to its perihelion event, it's 283 days, and what stood out to me here is not only, well, the birth cycle is 280 days, but when you look at this as 9 months and 8 days, this is like 9 months to the birth and then 8 days to the circumcision. Okay, imagine this. 9 months to the birth and 8 days to the circumcision. Okay, so 9 months from April 5th brings us to January 5th, the day that the portal was opened, after 5 portals had been opened starting on December 24th. And there were 5 portals that were opened. The 5th portal was opened 9 months exactly from the day of this comet. 9 months to January 5th plus 8 days circumcision to January 13th. But look at this. I mean, if you go from the total solar eclipse of April 8th to January 13th, it's 280 days, a perfect birth cycle. Okay, and so the 3-day difference goes from 280 days, and it's only 3 more days to April 5th. Okay, so this is the information about this to January 13th, but look at what we have to go with this. Okay, look at what we have to go with this. Okay, we've got the Atlas at perihelion. Okay, that's a huge sign in and of itself. Then we have another sign of the lunar occultation of Mars on this day. It's not only any day where the moon is occulting Mars, but it's the full moon day. Okay, in the constellation of Gemini. Okay, the full moon day, January 13th, is occulting Mars. And when you consider Proverbs chapter 7, verses 19 and 20, it says, the good man of the house will return on the appointed day. And the appointed day, if you look at the original language, it means full moon. The appointed day is a full moon. Okay, so we have all of this connecting us to the full moon. But look at what else we have here. Okay, now all of this comes together because I've been watching for a long, long time, and we've gone through many different years where we were watching the connection of Rabbi Kaduri, and we have been watching for many, many years, and so there have been many times where we have wondered about this prophecy of Rabbi Kaduri, the rabbi who found the Messiah, who presented to Israel and to the Jews that the Messiah, his name is Yeshua, okay? The Messiah has revealed to me that he will not present himself until after the death of our Prime Minister, Ariel Sharon. Okay. Now, right now it's January 10th. We're going into January 11th. Right now it's already January 11th in Israel. And Ariel Sharon died on January 11th of 2014, but he was buried on January 13th of 2014, 11 years ago. And so all of this, this is a major sign. I mean, to me, guys, I've been watching for a long time. This whole situation with Rabbi Kaduri is very intriguing and very important. And I've always wondered how we're going to understand this, how we're going to come to the fulfillment. But I have no doubt that somehow, some way, this prophecy is going to come to pass, because Rabbi Kaduri was such an influential character, such an influential person in Israel. I mean, literally 100,000 or 200,000 people came to his funeral. I don't know the numbers exactly. I can't remember, but from my recollection, I mean, there were like 200,000 people at his who came to his funeral procession. Okay, Rabbi Kaduri, well known for his miracles, well known for his wisdom, well known for his prophecies. And for those who want to discount a person because he's called a rabbi, I mean, this is a rabbi who presented the Messiah, Yeshua. I mean, this is not a traditional Orthodox rabbi. This is a rabbi who met the Messiah. Okay, and the Messiah, Yeshua, presented himself to Rabbi Kaduri, and he revealed to him that he would not come until after the death of Prime Minister Ariel Sharon. And Ariel Sharon was buried on January 13th, 2014. So to me, this piece of the puzzle is very important as a complementary confirmation of what could be the day of the arrival, the day of the Perusia, the day of the coming, the day of the advent of Jesus Christ. Comet G3 Atlas at perihelion, discovered on Israel's 77th birthday. 283 days after its discovery, which is 9 months and 8 days, a full birth cycle plus 8 days to the circumcision event of the male child, just as it says in Revelation chapter 12, a woman clothed with the sun, giving birth to a male child. 280 days from the last eclipse in America, April 8th, 2024. 280 days, a perfect birth cycle. And the full moon with a lunar occultation of Mars on this day, connected to the day of Ariel Sharon's burial, which is confirmation to the prophecy of Rabbi Kaduri. Okay. Wow. Okay, so thank you, Sister. And this came to me from Sister Kimberly Dreyer. Thank you very much for this amazing piece of information. I wanted to send this to you, as on 1/13 is when Mars and Moon eclipse, the wolf moon, happens all at the same time, signaling Jacob's trouble and the Great Tribulation. The comet will be in the night sky closest to Earth. In the article she sent to me, once in a 160,000 year comet G3 Atlas to be visible from Earth, on this day it could shine as bright as Venus. Comet G3 Atlas is set to shine at its brightest this week, potentially outshining Venus and Jupiter. G3 Atlas's orbit is so big that it takes roughly 160,000 years to go around the sun. As it approaches perihelion on January 13, 2025, when it will come within 8.7 million miles of the sun, astronomers are hoping for a spectacular display. Okay, now I want to go back here a few days and try to make some connections to some of the things that we have been watching. Okay, here is a video I did 4 days ago. It's called Today is Important in the Timeline, January 6, 2025. Okay, it was on this day that the first death of bird flu, happened. And it was on this day that the Dow dropped 25.57 points. 25.57 points. And if you turn that into days, 25.57 is exactly 7 years to the day on the Gregorian calendar, 25.57 days. Okay, and on this day then, there was a 7.0 earthquake, and this Western Shazan earthquake had a value of 25.57. And so within this video that I did, there were all these confirmations of 7. Okay, even the title of my video, could be translated to 2033 in the gematria. And so the video title had a gematria of 2033, and 2033 is 7 in the Strong's Greek Concordance. Okay, and so there was all these confirmations of 7 on January 6th. All right. Now we have these fires taking place. We had an earthquake in Grapevine, California. Grapevine, California. I did this message about a message from God. Grapevine, California, connected to 9/11, connected to 119. Thrust in your sharp sickle and gather her clusters. From Revelation 14:18. And then we have this information about how many people were evacuated from the Los Angeles area because of all the wildfires. And all of the articles showed 153,000 residents evacuated. The 153 fish. The big catch of fish. Okay. So all of this is saying, in general, the time is now, but on January 6th, we had major confirmations of 7. Okay. Could this be then our 7-day warning? 7 days from January 6th to January 13th. All right. This is the information. Thank you, sister, for sending this to me. Major piece of the puzzle here. Major information. And I'm just thankful that I am not alone. When I first got my sign from God on December 12th, 2012, and I began seeing the magnitude of what I was being called to do, one of the first prayers I did, one of the first prayers I made to God was that God would raise up an army of watch people to help in this battle, to help in this process, to help in this unbelievably difficult end time ministry, to try to understand. I mean, we are called to try to understand what the wise men tried to understand. I mean, they were called to follow a star and to somehow reach Bethlehem and to somehow understand where the baby would be laying in a manger. And so the biblical precedent for what we're doing is from the first coming of Jesus Christ. People knew. There were people who knew when and where he would be born, how it would happen, but very few people, right? Very few people knew. And so now here we are in 2025. Could this be it? Could this be it? Well, all we can do is watch, hope, pray. thank God for one more piece of the puzzle, one more nugget. And if this is the time, are we ready? Because, we could say this is the time, and who could say this is not the time? I mean, if I don't know when it is, you don't know when it's not. So that means any sign could be the last sign, and we need to be ready, and this could be the day, and we may only have another 1 or 2 days here on this earth. We're going in right now to January 11th. I'm 4 minutes from midnight on January 11th. What does this mean, guys? What does this mean? I'm just thankful that I'm not alone in what we are doing. We're all searching together, and thank you, sister, for sending me this information. I pray you guys are blessed tonight. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.